What up, world? It's your guy, Tay Vale, aka Tay Rich, coming at you, and want to welcome you to the first episode of Rich Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your support in advance. This is something that I, started and created kind of out of my brand, which is Rich Dreams. So you see here is the T-shirt, and just kind of putting forth some value out there to people. How it all started was a while back when I first created Rich Dreams brand, kind of branded it, because actually where Rich Dreams come from is my Instagram name. And I just simply took that and kind of created a brand, got a fresh logo, and was like, man, this is pretty dope. Let me throw it on a couple t-shirts. And a lot of people was asking me, yo, what's Rich Dreams? What's Rich Dreams? What is it about? What is it about? And for the longest, man, I could not come up with an answer. Like, I have no clue what it was. I'm like, man, I don't even know what my brand is. And due to COVID-19 and this coronavirus and us being quarantined, for the past few months, I've really been able to kind of dig deep into my thoughts and dig deep into my thinking and kind of tap into myself, because the world has been slowed down so much. I've had a lot of time to kind of tap into myself, which I've been so grateful for, because before this, man, I was losing my mind. Like, I was up here, up here with everything, just kind of tapped out, burnt out on a lot of stuff. So this was kind of a blessing in disguise. And just kind of been thinking on my brand and like, man, what can I create into? And one thing I knew for sure is like I wanted to add value to people. I'm like, man, if I want to do something, I want to add value to people. And I feel like this Rich Talk is something that will be able to do that, be able to add value to people. So we'll talk about current events, we'll talk about politics, we'll talk about finances, we'll talk about everyday living things, the how-tos, to the breakaways and whatever it may be, just to be able to add value. I've been mentioning this a couple times on my Facebook, is don't add to the problems, be a part of the solution. So I feel like this is maybe be something that we can create, I can create, that can create solutions for a lot of different problems out there. And was thinking, oh man, what could be my first topic? What could be my first episode about? And I was real thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, let's start something simple. How to use a credit card. Here's why I chose this. I'm like, man, we're in a pandemic right now. A lot of people finances are real iffy right now. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are, maxing out credit cards, doing what they can to survive and get by. And I just want to be able to add value to people who may not know how to use a credit card, who may never had a credit card, or who may be using the credit card wrong. Just want to be able to add value to them. So there's two different things you can use. You use credit card or you can use cash. Right now, very simple. What's cash? Paper money. Dollar for a dollar. Something costs $1, you pay $1. Paper. Never see it again, right? Doesn't necessarily add value to you. It doesn't benefit you. Unless you have, hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, then that's when people or corporations or banks come to you and ask you, hey, can we borrow your money, for, something in return. That's when it benefits you. But if you don't have that much, it don't necessarily really benefit you. It just can kind of get you what you want. Credit cards. What are credit cards? Credit cards come from banks, stores, credit unions. But then, we'll just stick with a bank. A credit card from a bank is basically the bank's money. The bank is basically saying, hey, we're going to give you this amount of money that we feel like you can manage, and we trust that you're going to pay us back, okay? So let's say, perfect world scenario, you never used a credit card before, but you want a credit card. Your credit is based off of your credit history, and let's say you walk into the bank, fill out the application, you get approved. $2,000 maximum. Perfect, okay? How do you use that credit card? Because a lot of people don't know how to use it. They're just simply, what they're doing, they're just purchasing. Oh, because technically I got an extra $2,000, which is not true. So they're just purchasing things that they always wanted and stuff, and before you know it, it's maxed out. So now you can't use it anymore Now you owe $2,000, okay? Now the minimum payment, the bank sets the minimum payment that you have to pay every month. And if you can't afford it, over time, interest collects on that, on what you owe. So before you know it, you're not even paying back $2,000. You're paying back $2,000 plus interest, which can come out to, who knows, extra 1,000, 15, maybe an extra $2,000. Okay. Here's how I learned to use a credit card, because at first I was scared. My first credit card, I was scared. I got 2 credit cards, had both of them for 10 years. No, actually I had one for 10 years and one for 8 years. Okay. Here's how I learned. Simple. Whatever you are using for your monthly expenses, just use it on your credit card, and at the end of the month, pay your credit card off. I'll simplify it a little bit more for you. So let's say your monthly expenses is $1,000. You have a credit card limit of $2,000. Okay. So instead of using your debit card or cash to pay off your expenses, just use your credit card. Okay? Use your credit card, pay off those expenses. So now you paid all your expenses off, $1,000, but you still have that in your bank. Don't spend it, because remember, those are your expenses. At the end of the month, you take that $1,000 from your bank, pay off your credit card. What that is doing, that is creating what's called a payment history. Now, this is how you build up your credit or rebuild your credit report. It's building up a payment history. Over time, if you constantly do that, over time, banks will see, oh, this person's paying off their credit card every month on time, never missing a payment date, never allowing interest to collect on it. As you're doing that, your credit is going up. This is adding value to you. This credit card is adding value to you now, because now it's helping you build your credit, which now when your credit is being built, now banks and loaners, they say, okay, we see that their credit is being built. Now you got a better credit score. So now you are more prone to receiving higher wages and loans, or higher, more maximum on credit cards, or whether it's buying a house. So now you're adding value to yourself. Real simple. It's easy, simple way to add value to yourself. Like I said, my first credit card, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I think my first credit card, I probably charged like $1 for the first month. I was like, because I've heard so many stories of people getting in bad financial situations just because they don't know how to manage a credit card. And I learned that trick, and I've been doing it for, like I said, 10 years. Never missed a payment. My payment history says 100% because that's all I've been doing. I don't spend extra. I just spend my expenses on my credit card. At the end of the month, when my due date is there, I take money from my bank, pay off my credit card. Boom. I'm adding value to myself. You do that for a while, 4, 5, 6 years, and you're working on your credit. Before you know it, you got a 750 credit score. So when banks look at you and you're coming in for a business loan, you're coming in for a car loan, you're coming in for whether it's you're trying to buy a house, they look at your credit score and like, oh, okay, all right, they're pretty good. We can trust them. It's building trust. It's building a relationship between you and the bank. Okay, so that's the first episode. That's my tip for the day of how to use a credit card. Make sure you like, comment, let me know what you think. And before we end, gotta shout out and mention the feature item of the day, which is the Black Rich Dreams tee. You can find it on, like I said, my Facebook or Instagram at Worldwide Rich Dreams. World is spelled WRLD. If you'd like to make a purchase, just inbox me and let me know. T-shirts are $25. And got a couple different colors, and looking to add some more products and merchandise as well. So I will see y'all later. Peace.